Episode 29. Submitted by Denny. Independence, Missouri. 47. Read exactly as submitted. When I was 10, I lived a school year with my grandmother in Independence, Missouri, and I ate dinner at 4 o'clock every single afternoon of it. The bus put me off at the corner at 10 till. I'd come in the side door, and there would be a plate waiting on the back of the stove with foil over the top of it, crimped down all the way around the rim, and the oven on low with the door cracked. Salisbury steak, chicken and rice, green beans, a dinner roll, a square of yellow cake off in the corner. She'd take the foil off, fold it in half, set it beside the sink, and I'd sit down and eat. She sat across from me with a cup of coffee, every day. She didn't eat, didn't put the TV on, didn't read anything. She sat there and watched me work through it. And when I got down to the last of it, she'd say, "Eat that while it's hot," even when it had been sitting long enough that it wasn't. I asked her about it once, in the first week, why she wasn't having any. She said she'd eaten at the church. She did go to that church Tuesdays and Sundays, and I was 10, so that closed it. I never asked again, not one time in 9 months. What she had at night was coffee and saltines standing up at the counter. I thought that was a thing old women did. She got smaller that year in a way I can only see now, in the 2 pictures from that Christmas. Her rings had gone loose enough that she'd turned them around, so the stones sat under her fingers. I have told people my whole life that it was the best year of my childhood, and I mean that plainly. The house was quiet. Nobody was fighting. There was a hot dinner on the stove at 4 o'clock for 9 months straight. And then my mother came back in June, and we moved out to Blue Springs. And Grandma died in 2001 while I was stationed in Georgia. There was one afternoon I said I hated pot roast. Said it out loud, pushed the plate an inch. She stood up, took it, scraped the whole thing into the trash can, rinsed it, and set a bowl of Cheerios in front of me. She wasn't angry. She never mentioned it again, and neither did I, for 36 years. I'm 47. Last March, I started driving a Wednesday route for the county's home-delivered meal program, which is what you do around here when you get laid off at 46, and your wife would like you out of the house. You carry them in an insulated bag, foil trays. You knock, hand it over, mark down that they came to the door. All mid-morning work. We're back at the hall by 11:30. There's a woman on my route who takes hers with both hands and tells me she'll put it in the oven on low until supper time, so she has something to look forward to at the end of the day. And I said something to the coordinator about how they must eat pretty well, and she said, "No, honey, it's one meal, one a day, one per person. That's the program. That's all there is." I sat in the van in that lot a good while. 4 o'clock was when the bus came. It got dropped at her door in the middle of the morning and went straight into the oven on low foil crimped down. 5 hours. So it would be hot when a 10-year-old came through the side door. One meal, one per person, and she sat across from me with a cup of coffee and made sure I finished every bit of it. 9 months, and I was never once curious about a woman who did not eat. I threw her dinner in the trash over pot roast, and she gave me cereal. I still eat at 4. My wife thinks I picked it up at the plant. I clean the plate every time. I don't leave anything on it. And for years I've said that came from my grandmother. That it's how I was raised. That you don't waste food. It isn't that. I ate every bite that year too. And I never once looked up.